Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back. So we got our first teaser trailer here officially for Tales of the Walking Dead. And man, this looks really good. After those first few photos that were released, I was a little concerned about the overall tone of the show because I just didn't want it to look like too weird, too different, where it just didn't feel like The Walking Dead. And that was kind of my worry. Like, yeah, we're going to see Alpha, we're going to see the governor, probably not this season, obviously, probably in season 2 most likely, but we're going to see these characters come back, but like the tone is going to feel different where it doesn't feel like a Walking Dead episode. Like I really want it to feel like it's in the world. I understand like some episodes might look different because I know creatively they're going to want to do some different things, and that's totally fine, but I think it's very important to have that tone there, right? Like that Walking Dead tone. And after you watch the teaser trailer, this show does have it. Like, it is still there. If anything, I actually feel like the show certain episodes give me like a current Walking Dead vibe, and some of them give me more of a season 9 vibe, where, it was before they switched to digital. You sort of had that grainy look, and it kind of looks a little bit more old school. Like, there's a shot like this where it says from the Walking Dead universe, and you just kind of look at the zombies and stuff in general here, and this looks like something out of literally I guess it would have been in season 10, right, when they burned down the hilltop after Alpha and them attacked it. Like, that's back then. They weren't shooting digitally, I'm pretty sure. I think that happened during the bonus episode. So yeah, just in general, this looks really incredible, and it's not even just that, it's certain elements that they actually are focusing on in terms of horror. Like, we have a shot like this where I believe this woman here, she's, I guess, technically kind of being haunted by like this ghost or whatever, right? Obviously it's probably going to be a walker, or there's going to be something here. I don't know what the story is going to be here, but this is kind of exciting because you can do things like this, and it really, there's this whole different element of horror here, which is just super, super exciting. There's some humor here. You have Terry Crews, and like just the scene that he's in here with Olivia Munn. It's just really incredible. Like, again, there's a lot to talk about here, so I'm going to break all of it down. So before we go any further, obviously make sure to be a subscriber if you do want more Walking Dead content like this. Also, obviously, Tales of the Walking Dead content. Anything Walking Dead universe related, just, if you want to get my reviews, my breakdowns of all the trailers and all that, then make sure to be a subscriber. Tales of the Walking Dead is happening in a month today, so it makes sense to release something right now, because that was kind of my worry with it in general. And it's weird that I never thought that maybe they would release a teaser a month before, just because I kept thinking that they were going to release the trailer, because they're releasing the full trailer. That's going to be like 2 minutes long. We're going to see a lot more of what the stories are going to be at Comic-Con, which is in 8 days from now. So we're going to learn a lot more context, and obviously I'll do a breakdown of that as well. But I was worried because that's like literally pretty much under 3 weeks until Tales of the Walking Dead premieres, which is like, that's not a lot of promotion for this show. So a month beforehand, a lot of people, and I think that's the one thing that I think we should all remember, The Walking Dead does do a lot more promotion than most shows, because a lot of shows don't promote things until a month or two before, especially shows on Netflix. They do nothing. Like, they really do nothing. They drop a trailer. I think they do it month to month. So whatever shows are going to be dropping on Netflix in July, they'll sort of announce it at the end of June or like July 1st, and then they'll release a trailer or teasers for it. Like, there's not a lot of promotion there. They just sort of drop it on there and people check it out. But I know this is a little different, but still, I think Tales of the Walking Dead kind of is in that same, so yeah. Anyways, let's actually break down the trailer here, because it looks like absolutely incredible. Now, the first shot we have is of these two women here, and I recognize the woman on the left here, mostly because there's a shot later on where she actually just like willingly gets bit by a walker, it seems. So like, I think she's not obvious. I don't think she understands, and that's the thing. I don't know what the story is. I'm trying to guess what the story is going to be about, and I'm guessing she doesn't really understand what walkers do, right? Like, I feel like to her, maybe becoming a walker is just something different. Like, I know we saw a lot of that in Fear the Walking Dead as well, where it was like people believed when you were a walker, and not even just on Fear the Walking Dead, we saw that with the Whisperers. Like, there's different beliefs on what's going on with all the zombies and stuff. Even Herschel in season 2, he believed that they were still people, right? So he didn't want to let that go. And then you go to the next shot here, and we have this woman here, and it seems like for this episode, they're the two main cast members here, or the two lead characters. I actually think this is going to be from episode 1. So on August 14th on AMC Plus, I believe we're going to be getting 2 episodes to watch. I think this one is going to be the first episode, Mostly because I remember when they were filming, when they first announced that they were filming Tales of the Walking Dead episode 1, we saw this picture of a supermarket. And if you actually go to this shot right here, you see this woman here in front of that same supermarket. So I believe that this is from episode 1. I don't know what's going on here, but I really do like stories like this. Like, I really do like stories where there's a zombie apocalypse, things are going down, people are starting to die, people are starting to turn, and, you know, there's a supermarket here, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what this actual story is going to be, because again, there's another shot here where you do see this woman getting bit by a walker, and I'm like, she like willingly allows it to happen. Like, she just sort of turns around and like pulls her hair back to get bit. So I'm like, what the hell's happening here? Is it a dream? Maybe it's a dream. I have no idea. It's, yeah. We then go to this shot right here, which, I mean, it's hard to tell what episode this is going to be from, but we have some classic walkers here. And again, this feels very much like The Walking Dead. Like, it feels like The Walking Dead, and I think that's very important. I think that's the difference between this show and World Beyond. And I'm going to talk about this a lot more in another video that I have planned, where I want to talk about how Tales of the Walking Dead actually does look really good. Because, you know, there's this sort of feeling out there in the fan base that every spinoff is going to suck, right? And I'm trying to think, like, why is that the case? Fear the Walking Dead, when that first trailer came out, people were so hyped for it, it looked really good. The reason why people stopped watching it a little bit was because immediately, and I don't know if you remember, but it was sort of promised back then that it was going to really focus on sort of the downfall of everything. And pretty much right away, it was like, oh, here's the downfall, but then like we're straight into the zombie apocalypse. So everyone's like, okay, so we're basically watching The Walking Dead again, right? And so I think there was just sort of a miscommunication there. But people really liked Fear the Walking Dead for the first 3 seasons. Like, people actually watched it. And it's a spin-off. It's not gonna get the same views as The Walking Dead, especially if you're not having those main characters there. So I think that was sort of the thing with Fear. And then just after a while, obviously, it had some really horrible seasons, like season 4 and 5, and now 7. So that's the thing with Fear. World Beyond, basically from the beginning, there was like this stuff that when they announced the show, it was exciting. But when we first saw that trailer, it looked a little worrisome, and most of us had that feeling of like, oh man, this doesn't look that good. Like, it looks like, I don't know, High School Musical or something in the Walking Dead universe. Like, it just didn't look good, right? And there's that feeling we get. Now, Tales of the Walking Dead, I'm not getting that feeling at all. This actually looks really incredible. This is the kind of spinoff that I want, and just seeing the way it looks here makes me that much more excited for, you know, for characters like the Governor to return, Jesus, Carl. Like, there's so much that you can do here that in season 2, I do think they're going to have a lot more characters. I actually think that in this show, just for season 1, I think there could be a couple, or at least one for sure, surprise character from the past that may show up that they haven't announced yet. But anyways, we have this shot here of this woman, and it seems like she's being haunted by the ghost thing. And obviously, I think that it's most likely a walker, but I think she's seeing this thing around everywhere, because there's actually a really creepy shot later on in the trailer here where it doesn't even look like anything Walking Dead related. It really doesn't. Like, there's a shot right here, and I might have to use this in the thumbnail, because like, it just looks like something out of, you know, The Conjuring or something like that. Like, this doesn't look like The Walking Dead, and that's very, very exciting. So I imagine she's being haunted by something, and it is like whatever the hell this is here. I don't know if she's just hallucinating, if this is going to be real, or what's happening here. Maybe to her, you know, this is like, maybe it actually, no, that's the thing. It's not going to be a walker if it's specifically pointing at her. So I don't know what's going on here. I would really like to see more context, but again, that trailer coming out, I think, is going to tell us a lot here. But this episode, I'm definitely very excited for. I think this one is actually going to be really, really good. And then we have this shot here of this man, and he has a bunch of equipment here. I really don't know what to expect here. The only thing I could really say is, I mean, it looks like he's with other people. At first, I thought these were walkers, but I don't think so. Maybe, but it doesn't really seem like it. So, and it's kind of hard to tell, because when you're watching it in motion, they're like walking like walkers, but they don't really look like they would have turned right away. So I don't know. This is one of those episodes that I'm actually really curious if this is something CRM related or Commonwealth related, with like, you know, the I guess sort of an explanation on how running zombies became a thing, and how that's really, you know, I guess the dominant strain in Europe and whatnot. So, yeah, I'm curious about this. Like, whatever the hell he has on his back there looks super cool, and I don't know what the story is going to be about. We literally only just have shots of him just trying to survive. He has this really cool outfit here. It might not even be based in Europe. It might be based in America. So yeah, this looks good, but obviously we'll have to wait and see what the actual story is going to be here. I'm hoping it's something CRM related though, but yeah, we'll have to just wait and see. And then we have this shot here, and this obviously is related to the Terry Crews episode. This one is definitely going to have a lot more humor to it, which I'm totally fine with, because I think you need to do that in a little bit, right? I know there's going to be some people complaining about it, saying like, oh, you don't need humor in The Walking Dead. It's not going to be that type of humor, you know what I mean? It's not going to be like, haha, everyone laugh, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's going to be, I think there's going to be elements there where we are going to laugh, because obviously people are like Terry Crews is hilarious, right? So we're gonna get those scenes, but I think there's gonna be an overall story here. And yeah, I'm definitely really excited for this episode. I mean, he's holding a goat. Like, what the hell is going on here? Like, just out of all the episodes, in my opinion, this one could be one of the best, but mostly because of I'm just thinking of the actors who are in this episode. But if I'm just going based off of the story, the one that I'm most intrigued in so far is this one where this woman is being chased by this, I don't even know, ghost thing. Because like, just, I mean, this shot right here just looks scary as hell. Like, what the hell's happening here? And then we have this shot here of Alpha, and I believe that's a younger Lydia. I'm pretty sure. Like, we haven't got that confirmation, but I'm assuming so. So in this episode, it seems like Alpha is going by the name of D. So is that her name before the apocalypse? I guess we're gonna have to find out. Like, she could have just came up with that name. We'll have to see what the context is here. But I'm definitely excited about this, because that was one of the things that I wanted more in the comic, was like, I wanted a Whisperer origin. I wanted to know more about Alpha. Was her name always Alpha? Or like, what the hell was her name beforehand? We never got any of those details. So shows like this, you know, I think are really important for that reason. And I think like, if her actual name was D, then yeah, that's kind of cool. Like, I want to see why she came up with the idea to, you know, to wear walker masks and whatnot. And like in this shot here, obviously she has blood in her face, but that's, I'm assuming, to just stay away from the walkers, to camouflage herself. But like, at some point she believed, or started to believe, that walkers were, I guess, the natural stage in human evolution, right? At some point she went crazy. I know, like, she's kind of already been crazy a little bit, but there was obviously a switch at some point, right? Like, she changed at some point. We also then have this shot here of Terry Crews and Olivia Munn just standing on this bridge, and obviously there's a walker here. There's a lot more humor here, obviously. Like, I think we can see what they're kind of going for here. But that's basically it, though. Like, that's the trailer here. There's a lot of stuff here that honestly looks really good. The online reaction right now is like extremely positive. I haven't seen anyone say anything about it being like crazy negative. Oh, this really sucks. Actually, I saw one person say that I thought Tales of the Walking Dead was going to be all like, you know, 6 episodes on 6 old characters, like the governor, Jesus, and etc., right? But yeah, I don't know where you would have got that. I mean, when they announced the show, they said there's going to be some original characters, returning characters. They're going to be doing some really crazy stuff with this show. And yeah, it seems like the overall, like 98% of the fan base right now is super excited for this show. And honestly, like, I wasn't expecting the show to look this good. And I even tweeted about it. I said, maybe it's because I'm used to World Beyond, but this spinoff actually looks amazing. So yeah, I'm really excited for August 14th. It's 1 month away. Definitely post all your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.